All right, guys, coaching with states, how to access and amplify resourceful energy. Hey, Wayne Sutton here. Hit that subscribe button. This is one of our 10-minute mini trainings over here at lifecoachlifestyle.com. So I am Wayne Sutton. I'm with Inner Compass Coaching, Life Coach Certification and Training Program, and you can learn more at lifecoachlifestyle.com. So let's jump into today. Again, as I said, we want to jump into how to access and amplify resourceful energy. If you're just starting to follow us, roll back through YouTube or roll back wherever you're seeing this, because this is about lesson 27, 28. We have a lot of these planned. They are going to be partial trainings from our full program, but they're going to bring you, I want to make sure I bring value in every call. If you're coaching or wanting to become a coach, we're going to give you the framework. So let's jump in. So we're going to talk about, again, combinations of physical. Really, if you look at what a state is, let's talk about state management. It's physiology, it's emotion, it's focus. They determine how clients and yourself show up in life. So your clients' results aren't just about what they know. It's the state they're in when they act. Are you with me? You can know a lot, but it's the state that you're in when you act. So if you think about state, physiology, focus, internal representation. If somebody's confident, they've got the upright posture, they've got a strong voice, they've got a vivid mental image of success. That's confidence. We've noticed anybody that's in fear, they'll collapse down, they'll shrink down their body and body language, shallow breath, and they're holding mental pictures of failure. So we don't want to be in fear, we want to be in confidence. And this is when you change the state, you change the behavior. Let me say this again, change the state, you change the behavior. So this is, and how does this impact coaching? Well, states affect learning. If I'm in a resourceful state, I will learn more. If I come in to watch something, come into a seminar, come in to be trained, and I'm negative and I'm down, I'm shrunk, I've already heard this before, I got a negative aspect of it. I'm not going to I'm not going to gain access to the resources. But if I come in and I sit up, my physiology is there, I'm focused, I'm expectant. Okay. And clients that are in stuck states, they can't see solutions. They can only see hell. It's hard to see heaven if you only see hell. So when we can help clients shift that state, it unlocks creativity, resilience, and motivation. And so we're going to, first of all, how do we get a client there? How do we get ourselves there? So do this with me. Think of a time when you felt fully confident. You felt strong. I can think back to times when I was nervous at my wedding, but I think of times when I married my wife, when I asked her to marry me. I can think of when I was in martial arts and I was literally in a competition, or I was defending myself literally in the streets. I think of that. I think of when I received my master's degree in counseling, or when I received this certification. I felt confident. So we guide that person to relive the memory, and we want to get into the VAK codes. We talked about visual, auditory, kinesthetic. Then ask them, get into that state. Think of a time. Yeah, what do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? Hey, let's make that image. What you see is make it bigger. Make the sounds louder. Feel this. I want you to increase the magnitude of the feelings. Stand tall. Breathe deeply. Move with energy. What is it? The Superman stance. I think if you stand, I'm not going to stand here, but you stand with your hands on your hips and you're looking straight ahead and your chest is out. They said standing in that, and I'll go back to Tony Robbins. I don't want to misquote, but I think if you stood in that stance for like 2 minutes, your free testosterone increased. So it is amplifying that state. Now, we're going to anchor that state. One way to anchor the state is let me give you one example. It could be a fist. It could be a solid fist. You think of the 8 and you solid fist, or maybe something you don't do all the time. One that I think is pretty cool is you take your thumb. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do an anchor. You take your thumb and maybe your ring finger, and you get in that state. And you're making the image bigger. You're making the sounds louder. You're feeling stronger. You're amplifying, and you anchor it. You literally, I touch those two together, and I give it a word. Give it a word. My word is awesome. Awesome. Well, I'm ready. Let's go. You anchor that multiple times with multiple situations. We want to stack anchors. When I'm confident in business, when I'm confident in my marriage, when I'm confident as a dad, when I'm preaching as a minister and I'm seeing people come to know Christ is Lord and coming to coming for getting help. When I see people break through, I see people go into ministry, serving Jesus. For me, and it may be different for you, but for me, that's a powerful state. I anchor that. And then we're going to lead clients, okay, from a negative state to a resourceful state. So if somebody's in a negative state, I want to get them into a neutral state. We'll talk about this more in our one-on-one coaching. How do you get them to a neutral state? There's a couple of questions, a couple of statements that you can do to kind of break the negativity. And you might not get them from negative to positive immediately, because sometimes you can mess up your anchors. But I want to get them from negative to neutral, and from neutral to resourceful. And if I can do that in the first 5 or 10 minutes of the coaching call, then everything I'm going to do from that point on is going to land. If I can get them from fear to curiosity, then I can get them to confidence. If I can get them from fear to maybe like fear, and maybe even get them to excitement, then I can get them to confidence. Okay. And so I'm going to fire this, and then there's collapsing anchors. That's where you fire negative state and resource state together until the negative dissolves. Not going to teach on that on this one. We can do that more. So how do you do this? You anchor confidence before. Now, if you're a salesperson, you're selling your coaching. Anchor confidence before the call. You anchor it, and then when you get ready to do the call, you fire it off. I'm ready. This is going to be a good call, whatever it may be. You install focus before presentations. If you're doing performance coaching, before you do a presentation, what's an anchor that can you anchor a time when you were totally focused on something? Are you with me? Okay. We got 7 minutes, so I'm trying to get through this. Health coaching. Okay. Maybe there's a craving. I'm doing a very special elimination diet right now, and there's times when I'm craving for sugars or something crunchy to come up this unhealthy, right? So, but what I can do is I can fire off an anchor of when I felt very confident. When the doctor looked at me, literally yesterday, and said, your lab results are great. This. And I felt good about it. When I look at myself in where I project my future, my timeline, go back and watch the timeline video. When I project my future timeline of where I'm at 3 years from now, where I see my body at, where my health is at. And I can fire that anchor. I have another anchor for that. I can fire that off and go, no. I'm not going to eat this food. I'm going to fire off the anchor that's going to replace a craving with a motivational state. And then how we help people shift from overwhelm into calm clarity. Okay. So here's what I want you to do. Here's your state journal. Grab a journal. Journals are powerful, guys. Grab a journal. Grab a pen. I'm got to have mine here because I'm going to do this after this recording. I'm doing my journal for today. What states have I been in this week? Have I been in fear or confidence? I've been in delay or activity. Have I been in something negative or something positive? And how have they affected my behavior? Number one, what state was I in? What triggered that state? And then how did that affect my behavior? Then I want you to create a confidence anchor. Now, again, remember a time, amplify the image, amplify the sound, amplify the feeling. And I want you to use a physical anchor you can do on yourself. The reason I like this one is I can do it without anybody even knowing what I'm doing. Awesome. Let's go. I'm ready. And I can fire that. Okay. And then the next time you're working with a session, notice a client's state. Notice their state. Fearful, apathetic, hopeful. What is that state? And then begin to consciously shift it through physiology or language. Okay? Remember this, states are fuel for action. As a coach, you're not just giving strategies, you're helping clients enter the states that make success inevitable. Now, next week, so be sure to subscribe, we'll go into mindfulness, state awareness. How you teach your clients to observe, manage, and master their own states. You listen, the point of a coach is they don't always need you. We want to give them the resources and the tools and install this so they can do it even without you, okay? So this is what we're going to do. Again, go into your journal. Follow me next week, and we go into mindfulness and state awareness. And be sure to subscribe. Now, one more time, really quick, lifecoachlifestyle.com. When you go there, you'll pick up a book. The book is going to be an explanation of what it is to be a coach. There's also a couple of videos of what your emails, short videos from me explaining life coaching. What Inner Compass Coaching is, and Life Coach Lifestyle, is a 9-week certification course. Now, if you're already certified, you're already coaching, great. This is another course where we're going to certify you in Inner Compass Coaching, which is temperament and values-based coaching, where you can help people in their identity and their purpose and their destiny and their health and their finances and relationships. And it's a 9-week certification course. You will receive a diploma that we are very, very proud to be able to send to you to show people your hard work. But number 2, we're then going to offer you to walk right in at no additional charge into the Wealthy Coach program. In the Wealthy Coach program, we're going to show you how to attract clients, have people come to you and pay you to become a coach. We're going to show you how to make a few thousand a month to 6 figures a month, whatever's good for you. And we're going to walk you through, as I've walked hundreds of people through this at this point, maybe even a little over 1,000 at this point. So I would love to be able to help you. Go to lifecoachlifestyle.com, and I'll see you on the next video.